What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going over Matic as it is running out of time and is approaching the very end of this massive structure in which we have been in. Now, of course, we are anticipating that the breakout will happen probably within the next couple days here. And so with that being said, I'm going to tell you guys about the options. I'm going to tell you guys about the outcomes, exactly how I'm playing this, no matter what direction it goes, and the best way in which I personally will be attempting to maximize my gains in crypto. Now, looking at Matic here, of course, what we are paying the closest amount of attention to is this macro trend in which we have been in. Now, considering the fact that we are approaching the end of a macro trend, you can expect that the larger the trend, the larger the breakout, meaning that very likely, within the next couple of weeks, maybe even more of a macro sense the next couple of months, we can expect a rather large move to the upside or the downside because it will result in the loss of this key level of support or the breakthrough of this massive level of resistance in which we have been in basically all year. So with that being said, of course, let's address both outcomes. Let's talk about what we can expect in either direction and how I'm going to go about it. Remember, my goal here is to not tell you what's going to happen, but how to recognize it a little bit before it happens and how to best take advantage of it. Now, let's talk about the bull option first. Let's talk about the best case scenario in which we are capable of holding support and we do start to work our way to the top side. Well, this is a very easy formula. Okay, this is a very easy step process to say, okay, it's time for a buy. Now, what we are going to be paying attention to is the fact that we have put in about 4 touches, right? This kind of counts as a touch back here. Then we have 2, then we have 3, and we are holding support number 4 on the bottom side of this trend line. So we are on an established level of support. Now, what we can also see is that at this point, we are also looking to hold this micro swing low to swing high, 618 to 786 on the Fibonacci. As you know, the 786 level is the most important level, and if there is going to be a support establishment that happens, it will at least be happening on this before we do result in a continuation towards the downside, right? You can see the moment we lost it back here, we immediately shot back towards the low in which we put in. So this is an extreme level of importance. Now, not only that though, we can see that we do have bullish divergence on many of our different time frames, right? We put in this low, we put in a lower low, we put in a low down here, and we put in the higher low up here. And so for all those reasons, we are still under the belief and the assumption that because we are on such a strong level of support, because we do have the 786 here, and because we are experiencing bullish divergence off of these drives to the downside, we can expect that a possible move to the upside may happen, right? Now, not only that though, we are seeing also the setup for a possible bullish breakout, which looks like a W bottom on a more micro sense from, realistically February 21st to now, right here, right? As you can see, if we were to see the break here, boom, you can see this W bottom playing out. So the way in which you are going to want to go about this, in my personal opinion, in my non-financial advisor opinion, of course, is looking for the break of $1.63. I personally would not be doing any buying whatsoever, not even thinking about buying until we broke above $1.63. Now, the reason being is because we, of course, did get rejection number 1 and rejection number 2 here. And so for that reason, while we are stuck within a range, we could look at this in a sense that we are possibly seeing a consolidational event that as we do keep ranging below this level, we could get pushed back down to the downside toward this $1.20 area, which of course we don't want to take a part of. We don't want to be buying up here and then selling down here. Buy high, sell low is not the game plan these days, right? So with that being said, of course, we are going to be looking for the break of $1.63. Now, not only that, if we are capable of breaking $1.63, we will have also started to work our way back towards the upside, clearing the 20-day simple moving average and clearing the 50-day simple moving average, both of which we have pretty much failed to do time and time again throughout this move towards the downside, especially on the 50-day moving average. There have been a few times we've got above this 20, but we've never held it at this point realistically. So if we could break above it unlike this and actually hold it, I do believe that that is going to be a very strong case for us to start to see some of these stronger gains back up towards $1.88, maybe even up to $2 or so here. But it all starts off with us getting back above $1.63, and that is the bullish breakout target. That's the bullish breakout goal. I will not be doing any buying until we are capable of getting above this level. Because if we take off the support, if we take off the resistance again, and we look at this for what it is in the short term, right? If we look at what this could possibly be here, we have to understand that some of these little channels that we enter into can be considered continuation channels, and we do not want to get stuck buying into this, right? So the whole game plan to the top side is 163. We get it back above that, we are looking very good for continuation. I personally will be doing a little bit of buying when we break that level, and if we come back to back test this area, which I think we will, I will be doing a little bit of larger accumulation with my final buy coming once we clear the breakout high, okay? Now we do have a breakout target on this if we are capable of working our way back back up past 163. You do have a breakout target on a W structure here, which looks like the price putting in, you know, a breakout target back up towards $1.91, which very possibly could be looking like a gain of over 18 to 20%. So it definitely could be a worth it trade there with your stop losses adjusted, you know, correctly. I would go ahead, if I was going to be buying here, I'd probably set my stop loss back down towards this $1.40 level, allowing it to have room to pull back, you know, establish support, but not enough to the point that it does just continue into its downtrend. So that's the bull case. That is what you can expect to see, in my opinion, if we are going to work our way up. It would look like a push above 163, and then from there, that is the door to me, you know, back up towards $1.90, $2, possibly even the higher points of $2.50 if we are capable of really seeing a strong, you know, move back to the top side here. Now, a lot of you may ask me, well, is that realistic? Well, realistically, I think if we do look at something like the weekly RSI, you guys can see that we are extended to the downside more than we have ever been for Matic, and that is a fantastic sign. What I mean by that is if we do just simply look at some of the lowest points we've been on the RSI on a weekly based perspective for Matic, we are quite substantially lower than that, while quite substantially higher than those on the price, and that's a key identification of bullish divergence there. And so for that reason, I think considering we are seeing such strong drives of bullish divergence mixed in with the key levels of support we're at now, I definitely think it's very viable to say that it could make a move back up towards some of these higher up levels. And again, I think personally it all starts with the push back above $1.63. Now, if we are going to see this thing break to the downside, the way in which you're going to be able to easily identify it, in my opinion, is if we realistically start getting daily closes back below $1.40. At any given point, if we lose $1.40, which has been the rejective low here, the rejective low here, and the rejective low here, that is a very strong sign that we have now lost this key level of support, this macro trending level of support. We've lost to 0.786. We've put in more of a macro low below these key rejective lows, and likelihood is we are resorting back towards $1.30, possibly even as low as $1.13. Do remember, when we have these ascending levels of support of this nature, let me go ahead and get rid of this for a second. When we have these ascending levels of support in this nature, with these key levels of resistance above them forming these triangular-ish patterns, when you lose the key level of support, your next breakdown targets become the previous lows in which you put in. And so considering the fact that the most recent low in which we have is sitting around $1.30, and below that we have a low sitting around $1, things may start to look pretty grim if we do start getting closes below this level. I think this is still a possibility considering the fact that the rest of the market is somewhat in turmoil, and you know, any bad news that kind of shakes up crypto is going to be enough to push Matic to the downside. So it is important that we are capable of starting to make our way to the top side relatively soon here and get those breaks before it is too late. So Matic is running out of time. There is not much time left. The apex of this triangle ends in 16 days. And so for that reason, we definitely need to be aware of this. If we start getting closes below 140, I personally will be expecting that the price will push probably back towards $1.30. But again, we do have breakdown targets as low as $1.05. So again, I know I'm sitting here saying it can go up or it can go down. No one can make predictions within this market right now. Okay, everything that we are seeing is having such a heavy influence on the market that there is no saying it's for sure going to do this or it's for sure going to do that. But what we can say is, look, this is the confirmation that we are breaking to the upside, and as long as things continue to go well, these are the breakout targets. Or we can say, you know, we lost this key level of support. Very likelihood is we resort back to our previous level of support, which is here at this level, right? And so my goal is to prepare you guys for any outcome that happens rather than try to convince you that it's going to go up or it's going to go down, because I don't have a crystal ball and neither does anyone else. Now, in these markets, whenever we are starting to see things get boring, realistically, we have been sitting within this accumulationary period for a while now, right? I mean, we've been sitting here since January, so almost 3 months. We've just kind of been sitting around the same price range. A lot of people are getting bored. A lot of people are starting to get a little bit antsy and anxious, and they're asking me, what am I doing? I haven't really been buying. I haven't really been accumulating, especially on something like Matic, because we have not been capable of breaking through the uptrend or the downtrend. We've not been capable of establishing a new uptrend yet. So for me, it's like, why would I be buying in a downtrend? But in the time in which I have been seeing, you know, a little bit of a more boring period in my own portfolio, I have been focusing on doing a lot more passive income investing and trying to earn interest and doing things of that nature, to where even whenever I am seeing losses in my portfolio, I am capable of hedging against that by earning passive income with some of my other stable coins and some of my Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So whenever I do find these new platforms and I find ones that I think are legitimate, that offer great rewards, I always share them with you guys, because because I know you do enjoy some of these passive income routes as well. And so that's why I wanted to share with you AQRU. So AQRU is a platform in which you can invest your stable coins, you can put your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and you can earn interest and passive income on it over time. It does, it's maybe up to 12% and 7% and 8% and things of that nature. But these are things that can definitely hedge against the losses that you'll see during bear markets and then provide you stability during bull markets. And I do highly suggest people to check out these passive income routes and these abilities to make money in other places, especially during times like these. Now, for AQRU specifically, I do like them because of the interest in which you can earn on your stable coins. That is kind of my favorite aspect about them. You can actually earn 12% on things such as USDC, which is super appealing to me because before this, the best I could find was kind of like 10%, 11%. So 12% is definitely pretty high. And then you can also earn 7% for Bitcoin and Ethereum with bespoke deals available for large balances. So I definitely think that there is the ability to make some pretty good returns here. They have a lot of good perks whenever it comes to actually investing with the platform, such as no fees on buying crypto, which is not something that you hear of pretty often. No lock-in periods, which is always super convenient just in case something big happens and you need access to your funds. They're super fast funding, and so it's just as easy to withdraw as it is to deposit. And then they have the highest rates on balances of any size. And then if you do join, you will get a $10 or a 10 USDT free gift from them. So I definitely think it's worth trying. It's something that I personally will be throwing a little bit of my stable coins into because I do think that it is pretty nice to earn 12%. And I think it could be something that is pretty useful, especially as we do go forward, as we're trying to gauge through this market. So with that being said, that's really going to be about it for today's video. Be on the lookout for how this thing plays out. Be on the lookout for if going forward, do we see the breakout to the upside? Do we clear 163? Or do we start to see these closes back below 140? Whichever way we go is going to be a very, very, very high determinant, in my opinion, on where we go in the micro sense, more like the next couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And so I definitely think it's important. So with that being said, that's going to be about it for today's video. And of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you can always let me know simply by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.